Hey guys, it's your favourite creative book here with a new video just 3 months later than planned. This doll, I went into this with zero plans other than to make her a winter themed doll. No drawings, no ideas, just winter. Ironically, she has taken the majority of it to make. So I started by picking out G3 Abby and removing her damaged hair, taking her head off of her body to do so. I put her head back onto her body afterwards. I didn't remove her face until later though. First off, I made a clothing pattern for her as I had an idea to make a jumpsuit. And I'm very excited to show you some of the process, although I was not able to capture it all. I first pinned the pattern I had made, then carefully I cut them out, following the instructions I had written for myself. Before attempting this with the final fabrics, I had actually made a prototype jumpsuit, you saw that, which allowed me to get the measurements just right for this final pattern. Once cut out, I started to sew the pattern together, sewing the cuff to the sleeves to the top, and then sewed up the side seams. Once I finished sewing the top, leaving the back open, I sewed up the trousers and hemmed the bottom of each trouser leg as it was left open in a flare. Now that both pieces of the jumpsuit were sewn, I pinned them together and joined them. Now the garment was one piece. I added snaps to the top's back and little hook eyes to the back of the trousers. It didn't look the neatest, but I planned to cover that up with a sleeveless coat. After making the jumpsuit, I started to work on making the shoes. I first made the base out of lightweight air-dry clay, which took 3 days to fully dry. Whilst that was drying, I measured how much fabric I would need for the shoes and then cut them out. Once they were dry, I glued embroidery thread to the part of the shoe that would be exposed, afterwards gluing the fabric faux fur to them, using more embroidery thread to lace them up at the back, ensuring they would fit. Finally, for the clothes, I stitched together a coat from the same faux fur, added a working zipper and used the same embroidery thread on the collar to finish. I also made a necklace while waiting for the shoes to dry. Next up, the hair. I made yarn hair out of 3 different yarn skeins, which gave the hair a very nice texture as well as a range of different colours. As I was rerouting the doll, I came across a problem. The doll's head started to rip in places. This, coupled with how long the hair was, I decided to remove the head a second time and chose to add glue to the inside once the reroute was complete. The reroute then took me about a week to finish. However, in the end, I was very pleased with the result. Once the glue was dry on the inside of the doll's head, I put the hair out of the way in some spare fabric and used rubber bands to secure it, not wanting to compromise the hair by using pins. After that, and putting her head back onto her body, I started my first attempt at the face-up. There were parts of the first attempt I liked, specifically the fact that it gave me the idea to give her birthmarks, as the sealant got messed up because it was the very last of the can. But overall, I knew pretty soon after starting I was going to need to redo it. That only got confirmed when I looked at it the next day and decided to get out the acetone and, well, get to work. Whilst the doll was drying from that original failed attempt, I turned my attention to her nails and painted them with my metallic acrylics. Most of the second attempt wasn't caught on camera as I got ahead of myself and started working when my phone was on charge. I did manage to get these photos though, realising I should probably document some of the work I achieved. Finally, on the third day, I started to record again, this time having better success than on the first attempt. I was very happy with myself as I tweaked the design ever so slightly with each paint stroke. In the end though, I had to stop recording because I needed to use my phone for something else. Finally, the next day, I managed to finish the second eye and added back in the eyeshadow and lashes. With that and some finishing touches, the doll was finally done and ready to be assembled. Between the flare-ups of my medical issues and other stuff going on in the background, this doll took me the better part of 3, maybe 4 months. Still, I finished her before winter ended, which is on the 20th of March, so I'm happy with it. And she's not a bad doll either. In fact, I'm proud of how she turned out, as her redesign is probably one of the better ones I've done in the past year or so. Anyways, here's a photo shoot. Meet Olwen the Yeti. Enjoy.